It's doing a pretty good job. Hello everyone, it's just a dad. Today I'm going to do a comparison between the Eufy C20 robot vacuum cleaner and the Eufy X10 Pro Omni on the right. Now this is the white version of the X10 Pro Omni. So both of them will vacuum and mop your house the same. They both have a clean water tank. Here's the clean water tank. I like that it's clear over here. And here's the dirty water tank on the X10, and here's the dirty water tank on the C20. They both will vacuum your house. They have a dustbin, and when they come back, another vacuum will kick on and suck everything out of the robot into this dust bag, which you will have to change on the X10 Pro Omni. Now on the C20, just take this cover off, and it has a dust bag also. It will empty out the dustbin into this, and then you'll have to replace this every so often, about every 2 months. Now they both have LiDAR navigation, but the Eufy X10 Pro Omni is a spinning LiDAR on top, and the C20 is like a front-facing LiDAR that makes it really skinny. The Eufy X10 Pro Omni is about 4.5 inches tall, where the C20 is 3.4 or 3.54 inches tall, so it can get under a lot skinnier furniture. Now I do find the X10 Pro Omni does have a better obstacle avoidance sensor on the front. It does also have a light. So if you're worried about obstacles that are low to the ground, the X10 Pro Omni does have better obstacle avoidance. Now both of them are going to wash the mop pads, the base station. They both wash with, room temperature water. Now at the end of the job, they're both going to dry the mop pads. The X10 Pro Omni will dry with hot air, and the C20 will dry with just room temperature air. It takes longer, but it doesn't use as much power. They both have a little tray, as we can see, that you are going to have to clean once in a while. Here's the X10 Pro Omni's tray. Again, they spin the mop pads in water, and then the water is sucked up into the dirty water tank. Now another difference is the X10 Pro Omni has a port that has an internal water tank. So the base station there can fill up the robot. A little hard to see, but it's right here. It can fill the robot up. It has an internal water tank. On the C20, it does not have an internal water tank. It's not going to fill the robot up. So if we look around back, those are just alignment pins, and that's where it's going to charge it. Now they both have a dust bin. Here's the X10 Pro Omni as it vacuums your house. Everything will go in here, and then it gets sucked out. Same with over here. Here's the C20. It has a dust bin. And then it's going to vacuum everything up into here, and then it gets sucked out into there. Now I'll explain why the C20 doesn't have a water tank. Okay, they both have spinning mop pads. The spinning mop pads are different, by the way. You can remove them if you want to just vacuum with it, so they're very easy to remove. They both can lift the mop pads up and down if they sense carpet. Here's the X10 Pro Omni's carpet sensor. Here's the Eufy C20's carpet sensor. And in the app, the Eufy Clean app, it'll show you where the carpet is after it's cleaned your house a few times. But now let me explain the water tank. So this X10 has these little ports, and it will spray water onto the mop pads to keep them wet the entire duration of the mopping event. And I can even change how wet these things stay in the app. On the C20, that is not possible. No internal water tank. Now, the theory is... it's a little different, I'll explain. The C20, when it first starts, it's going to wash the mop pads, and then that's going to do two things. It gets them wet, but it also gets them clean. Now, that first part was pretty important. It gets them wet. So now the mop pads are wet, and it can go mop your floors. Now, eventually these will dry out, and they're going to capture a bunch of dirt and debris in here. And then every so often, it's going to go back and wash the mop pads, get the dirt and debris that it captured off of here, but it does, the second thing it does, it gets them wet again. So that's how the C20 operates. That's how it operates mopping your house. It does a really good job. It just has to go back and get the mop pads wet a little bit more, where the X10 Pro Omni can keep mopping your house with its onboard water tank. Now, every so often, it's going to have to go back and wash the mop pads too, because just because this is being kept wet doesn't mean it's not going to smear. If you do have a bunch of dirt and debris, it will eventually start smearing it. So it also has to go back, wash the mop pads, get the dirt off of them, and then continue to clean. So again, they both have a brush roller here. X10 has a single brush roller, and so does the C20. Now, if we look at the brush rollers, they have this comb. So whenever it auto empties the dustbin, you're going to hear the brush roller being turned backwards. And when it turns backwards, it's going to extend that comb, and that comb is going to grab the hair off of the brush roller. Now, if we see over here on the C20, that comb is actually a lot bigger. And I think the comb does a little bit better job of getting the stuff, or getting the hair off of, I have to do it myself. See, there's that comb, getting the hair off of the brush roller. Okay, let's see how the Eufy C20 is gonna mop up this floor.
Start washing mop.
First thing it's gonna do, it's gonna wash that mop pad, and that's gonna set the wetness level for those mop pads so that it can clean the floor. You'll hear various pumps kicking on, putting water down there, spinning the mop pads, and then the dirty water pump's gonna kick on, sucking up the dirty water. Okay, it's gonna travel to the room and clean it. Okay, so it has traveled to this room. We're gonna test the obstacle avoidance. We've got some mud on the floor, and we're gonna see how it goes under this low furniture. All right, so it's mopping the floor. There's the first mud, it did a good job. And it's vacuuming at the same time. All right. And it goes right under that furniture to clean it. All right, it's going to clean that other muddy mess. All right. Now I do have it doing 2 passes. Did leave a little bit, but it should get it on the second pass. Right. So it was not able to recognize and avoid that Lego toy. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Now I do like the Eufy app. You can see right where it's mopping in live view. And since I've got it on 2 passes, it's going to do 1 pass left, right, and then the other one up, down. Okay, so this light mud, you know, it almost got it all. This thicker mud, it's having a little bit of trouble with it. And I'll give you some things that could help with that. It's how often does it wash the mop pad? Since it does not have an internal water tank, it's relying on that mop wash that it did at the very beginning to dampen those mop pads. Now what you could do in the settings, I've got it on smart wash, but you could have it do it by time. You could change it that it'll wash those mop pads every so many minutes. And this one's been clean almost 7 minutes. So you could have it go wash the mop every 5 minutes. Okay, so it's all done cleaning. Again, it did leave a little bit, but I could have had it go back and wash its mop pads after 5 minutes of working. Now again, the base station, it's going to put water down here, wash the mop pads, and then suck the water up into the dirty water tank, and then it dries them with room temperature air. It does not use hot air.
Start emptying dust and cleaning the brush hair.
Okay, it's emptying the dustbin into the dust bag. And again, I can adjust. This is going to be really important to adjust that time from 5 minutes to 12 minutes, how often it washes the mop pads. Because unlike some robots, it doesn't have an internal water tank. It doesn't spray water on the mop pads to get them wet. All right, now it's sucking the dirty water up into the dirty water tank.
Washing mopped.
Okay, now it turns the fan on and it's
Start
going
air drying mopped.
to air dry the mop pads. Let's take a look at the dirty water tank. Let's just see. Not too bad, not too bad. Now I have learned a little trick. You're going to want to rinse these out to prevent odor. But then you want to spray a little bit of Listerine. Just a couple drops of Listerine in there to help prevent odor. That's Listerine mouthwash. Okay, we're going to see how the Eufy X10 Pro Omni is going to do in the corner. All right. It's getting the floor nice and wet, and we're going to see how it mops up these muddy paw prints. First pass was pretty good. Now it is able to navigate around furniture. All right, we did get a little bit of smearing, but it's going to come back and get it on the second pass. It's doing a pretty good job. All right, a little bit of smearing. So I told it to do 2 passes on this kitchen area. So now it's on its second pass. The first pass was like left, right. Now it's gonna go this way. Okay, so we had a little bit of smearing. We're gonna see if it gets the rest of that. All right, looks like it's doing a pretty good job. Yep, it got the rest of it. Okay, it raised the mop pads, and now it's going to go travel home and wash the mop pads. Okay, for me, the clear winner for obstacle avoidance, the Eufy X10 Pro Omni. Now, as far as mopping, I find that the C20 actually does a pretty good job, even though it has to go back and get the mop pad wet. You know, the X10 can probably do a little bit bigger room. I really like the design of the C20. This is a modern design. I like that light in the water tank, shows me how much water. If it also turns red. The dirty water tank I can also see. These are okay, I just can't see them. It does have a light down there. But I like the thin profile. Again, I didn't think that spinning light, or that LiDAR not being on top, I didn't think that was going to work as good, and it actually works very well. You'll just find the robot's doing spins a lot. It'll go in a spot and then it'll spin. That's how it's navigating the room, where the X10 can just keep running because it's spinning the LiDAR on top itself. They both use the Eufy Clean app, which is amazing. Parts availability for both of them is really good. Yeah, ease ability to use. I have used Eufy customer support. It is pretty good. It's better than others, so that's a plus. And the parts cost are relatively cheap too. Okay, now price-wise. The X10 Pro Omni, this is the white one. They sell a gray one also. They're exactly the same. So the gray one right now is on sale for $664. This white one's full price at $800. I wouldn't pay $800 for this. Because the C20 is coming in on sale for $450. That's a really good price. Wait for it to go on sale. They love putting that on sale a lot. I wouldn't pay full price. Full price is $700. So no, it's not a $700 robot. Is it a $450 robot? Yeah, it actually is if you want the thin profile and you don't mind. But the Dream L10S, sometimes it's on sale for $400, and it's a little bit better robot than this. So I'm trying to come up with a system to tell you on a weekly basis what these robot vacuum cleaner deals are. They're happening all the time at random times. Don't ever pay full price for these robots. tune in. I will be trying to figure this out, whether it's a weekly podcast, a weekly YouTube video, or something. Let me know what you think in the comments, would be a way. I do have an Instagram account, and I don't have many followers, and I have a TikTok account. I don't know if everybody's on those platforms or what's the best way to get this information out to you, because I'm constantly seeing these sales because I'm constantly researching. So I am going to be doing, there's the S1, there's the S1 Pro. I'll be comparing these to that. Lots of videos. I love Eufy. They're not the most advanced, but sometimes you don't need to be the most advanced. The S1's actually really good. The S1 Pro is really good for mopping. So again, they're just not innovating quite as fast as the other ones, which again, that can be okay too. Maybe they're taking their time and innovating a little bit better. These seem to be more consumer price point, where they're trying to find, I think that they're not trying to build a robot that's $2,000 and that, that people will buy. They're more concerned with price and trying to find that happy balance. And again, I do appreciate everybody using the links. I can give my honest opinion. The Saurus 10R, really good so far. The Saurus 10, I love it, but it's got a squeaky wheel, so it might be going back. And since I buy these robots with my own money, I can send them back. The EcoVax, it's going back. Did several videos on it. I'm just not happy with it. I used it for about a week. It just never, I don't think was ever going to live up to a $1,300 robot. So it's going back. The X50 is going back. So at first it was okay. It's starting to have some problems, only 6 weeks in. So it's going back. So again, this is very helpful that I can buy them with my own money and I don't feel obligated. I feel like a consumer because I'm like, hey, that's $1,300 that I spent and it's not doing good. It's going back. Again, I bought all these robots with my own money. I'm even starting to have some troubles with the X40, which I'm going to keep an eye on that. It's all about mapping. So again, I really do appreciate everybody's support. This studio wouldn't be possible without everybody's help and support. How I'm testing, how I'm reviewing these videos is I'm getting that information from people that leave comments. So I just really appreciate everybody's support and help. The videos might be a little bit quicker than normal. I know some of the videos have gotten super long and I'm trying to condense, I'm trying to edit. I'm the video editor, so it's a little tricky. I do all my videos on my phone. This is on the phone, and then I edit it on the phone, so I don't have a lot of technology to where I can do a lot of fancy stuff. So maybe in the future I'll have something like that. But right now I'm more concentrated on getting the information out, showing people how these things work. Comparisons are huge, so everybody wants to see which one should I buy. And then anytime there's an event, like Amazon has their spring event or summer event, I'll try to get a video out to show you what the best deals are, because there's some pretty good deals. And then I'll try to give you my link where you can use my link and I can get a little commission from the sale. That really, really does help me support what I'm doing full time. I feel like I'm doing what I do to help people. That's the main reason I'm doing this. That's my number one thing is I make a video, I want it to help somebody. So again, I really do appreciate everybody's support. Like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Say hi, Fiona. Good girl. You're a good girl. And here's Miss Fiona. I was doing some videos at home and she came to visit. She misses me when I go to the studio now.